Well, I'd like to welcome everybody back to the channel tonight. I'm at home. I've got the Redcat Gen8 here on the table. What I'm doing tonight is I've already started part of this project just to not bore everybody with everything, but this hump, as I've talked about before in the transfer case on the chassis, is actually kind of a big deal in this truck. It actually hangs up a lot more than what I expected it to. I've done some playing around with it on a test course indoors to see, and it's hanging up just left and right. So we're just going to eliminate that hump. I got a piece of pretty thick plastic here. I'm going to go by and file down the edges and stuff with the Dremel and stuff. And we're gonna cut this hump out here. Got some JB weld. I'm going to glue this in place, and I might make one a little wider here. I got some other plastic here, but anyway, I'll show you what I did here. There's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 screws that hold the battery tray in the truck. I unplugged the servo wire for the speed controller. I'm not going to disconnect it. I will have to go by and notch the battery tray for the transfer case. We'll notch it in here. I went ahead and marked my drive shaft angles or my drive shafts where they go with a Sharpie, and then I'm going to take the transfer case loose, take it out of the truck, and then I'll go by and take my Dremel tool and cut the hump off the skid plate. I have looked at the metal skid plate, and the metal skid plate still has the hump in it. So I've seen this done on another truck on a video, and they had no issues with it. Probably gonna have to go by and get some longer screws. Probably be a 2-part video, as I'm gonna have to go get screws tomorrow. I don't think I have any screws here that'll fit this truck for this particular part, but nonetheless, I'm going to do it anyway and get my hand out of the way here. At least get it started. Give the epoxy time to dry tonight. I'm going to use a 2-part JB weld on this. Should be really sturdy when it's done. I'll go by and shave this piece down. Some people use metal. You can use whatever you got laying around. I just happen to have a piece of plastic laying that I cut from. Like I said, I'll go by and bevel the edge of it and stuff, fill it in. Who knows, I might change my mind here and redo this whole video and go cut a piece of metal just because it'll lay a lot thinner. But we'll see what we got here. Nonetheless, it's still going to be the same process. I figured that the plastic would slide a little easier than the metal. That's what my theory was. So I got my transfer case out of the truck. There it is. There's the big dip right there. And I just got a cut off wheel that I'm going to put in my Dremel. And cut this piece off. Then we'll come in afterwards, sand it real nice and smooth. And it actually looks like there might be enough room in this Redcat chassis to could probably tuck that piece of plastic in there. I'm not sure yet. I'm actually not sure how I want to do it. I was kind of leaning towards going down and grabbing a piece of metal and using it just because it'd be a lot thinner. So I'm not sure what I want to do yet here. This plastic isn't all that thick, but then on the other hand, it is kind of thick. So let me get this chassis cut and I'll be right back. Alright, so back with you again. I ended up deciding to go with a piece of metal for this. A little thin, but should be alright. And I tucked it into the frame rail on each side here. So there's the hole. Cut the piece off of it. And that's gone. Ground it smooth. Might be a little high spot right there. I'll come in here and touch this up a little bit more, just a little high spot right there real quick. And like I said, I'm going to use some JB Weld to glue this piece in. Clean this up. I'm going to come in and fix this real quick here. We'll lay this in there. Tuck it in there real nice and neat. And mix up some JB Weld here and throw that on, and then we'll flip the truck over, and I'll go by and notch the battery tray, and should be good to go then. I got this cut pretty nice here. I might come in with the grinder and do a little cleanup here with it once it's all in there and glued in place, but let me knock down this high spot and I'll be right back. We'll continue on. Alright, so I mixed up my JB Weld. I'm going to lay my panel in here that I made. Press this down real nice and tight. We'll clean up any JB Weld that oozes out of here, out. Now, so that I can make sure that this stays relatively tight, get a couple of clothespins. Now everybody does it this way. Do it however you want. That'll keep some nice pressure on here. Now I'm gonna let this sit and dry overnight. It takes 4 to 6 hours, I think it is, to set. Cure time's 15 to 24 hours. So by tomorrow afternoon, this stuff should be nice and cured. I'm gonna leave it sitting in this position. I might even go by and put some a little heavier on here, I think, just to hold this down real good and tight. See what else I can find heavy enough to not have to worry about the cats knocking over. I'm gonna sit on here. I want this to be as flat as it can be. I don't want it to be hanging up. I'm probably going to come in here with my Dremel anyway and clean some of this up. So I think that's where we're going to leave it at for tonight. And I'm going to raise these sliders up tomorrow. I'm going to come back in and add some more glue on the inside of the chassis there. And then finish going by and spacing the transfer case up. We're going to go ahead and notch the battery tray tomorrow, and that way you can finish this up, and I'll get this cleaned up. So as always, please like and share my videos. Post your comments below. A lot of changes coming to this truck. The light kit's here. Picked up a new radio for the truck. Got this, this is a Radio Link 6 channel that I picked up for the truck. It's got some neat little features to it. Get the bugs worked out of this radio so we can turn our lights on and off from this, and let you know what we think of this. So thanks for watching. Post comments below. Thank you and have a good evening.